I've been thinking about census. The census going on in the US at the moment. UK's got one next year, and I'm thinking, could we do something creative around that? I was reading my news feed today, and I read this really interesting article about census collecting, where they count the number of people or households that live in a town or city or ultimately a country, of course. And it got me thinking, what an amazing achievement that is really to actually find out how many people live in a country. And of course, if you know how many live in a country, then you can find out how many live in a continent, and you can find out how many people actually live in the world. That's an amazing piece of statistics, isn't it? And it got me thinking, the UK, well, they started doing censuses in 1801, and they've done them every 10 years since. Now, that means we've got a census next year here in the UK, but of course, in the United States, you've got a census this year. In fact, right now. In fact, you've been doing censuses or counting the people in the United States of America since 1790, which is just amazing. And it got me thinking, the US is right in the middle of doing their census. I think April the 1st is the reference date, but that doesn't mean you can't do it now. If you haven't done it, you should go on and do it. I mean, definitely go online. I think you can phone or do it through the post or mail. And it only takes minutes to do a census. I think a lot of people actually are quite frightened about the data and how data is going to be used. But census data is like super, super sensitive. It's like really kind of secretive stuff, Nobody can use it. Governments can't use it. The police, law enforcement agencies, they can't use it. You can't even use census information in a court of law. So it's just like completely safe. Don't worry about any of that stuff. And do you know what? It's really important that you do your census for you and your families, because billions of pounds or dollars are spent every decade on the basis of how many people live in a given place, in a given area. So when they're deciding what to spend, how big the fire department should be, or the health services, or how many schools to build, or what kind of roads they need and infrastructure, all that is based on how many people they think are living in a given area. So it is actually really important, that you fill your census information in, and as I say, don't worry about it being used for anything else. It can't be. Not even the government can use that information. And it got me thinking, as a photographer, what a great opportunity it is, really, to kind of do a census yourself with somebody that maybe family or friends or colleagues or whatnot. But what a great opportunity to shoot a portrait, but a portrait really in the wider sense of the word portrait. So using environment, what people are wearing, props, other people. It might be a whole family. It might, they might have a pet or whatnot. But really using the surroundings to photograph somebody in their situation, in their moment of time, right now. And then, what a story that is to revisit again, maybe 10 years later, and redo the same person. And maybe 10 years after that. Wouldn't that be really cool to look at? I suppose you didn't have to wait 10 years. I mean, there's no reason you can't set your own time frame, do 2 years or 5 years or whatever, if you want. I just thought that'd be a really cool way of doing it in pictures, seeing the change in a person that over a period of time, and just using the photography, the portraiture in, as I say, a wider sense of the word portrait. I think it'd be a great idea, and I think archivists and historians will really thank us for it as well in the future. They'd be looking back on it thinking, this is a moment. This is capturing a moment in time, with fashions and environments, and any camera would do. Of course, you don't need to be a super great photographer with the best kit. You can just do it on an iPhone if you really want to. It's just a case of actually taking the time to capture that information. I think we should give it a go. Why not? Why not take a picture, post it on social media, hashtag it myphotocensus, and see if you can get it trending. See if enough of us do it, photograph somebody that we know in an environment, hashtag it myphotocensus. Let's see if we can get a few pictures knocking about online. Our photocensus, that'd be a good idea. So give it a go. Pick up your camera, go shoot some pictures.